So how pumped were you last night?
I was pumped. I was happy for my guys to, go from not even supposed to be in the tournament. Some people say that. To a comeback win. It felt good to see that.
What'd you think about Jimmy Butler firing shots at you on Instagram?
Jimmy be hating. He be hating. He mad because Marquette is not in it. He bored right now, so no hard feelings.
What do you remember about that first game of the tournament that you played in? Just kind of entering that.
It was 30 years ago, Jimmy. I think out of all games, like that first game to me was, even though we won the championship, but that first game to me probably was the importance of that game, like going up against like one of my best friends, and somebody that lived with me at the time, somebody I consider family. For me to be playing up against him and to know growing up what we talked about about that moment, and always talking about going to college together and playing in the NCAA tournament, and to be able to have that matchup against him, that first game against him at Hatton will always be very special to me.
I think we asked you about this earlier in the season, in preseason, but as the season's gone on, have you and Nick been able to revisit that Kansas Syracuse?
Yeah, I know that's a sore spot, man. Anytime the tournament comes up and Kansas Syracuse comes up, it's a sore spot. So I try not to bring it up too much. I could just see the look on Nick's face when I talk about Syracuse in the tournament. So I don't want to brag too much.
Well, it's been working for you these past 5 games or so from three-point range. I think you're around 47%. Seems like you're in a good rhythm.
Yeah, just working, doing the same thing I've been doing, and taking the shots, and they going in for me. I don't think I'm doing anything different. I think my teammates are doing a better job of finding me in those spots, and it's a matter of just making the shots and staying with it, and continue being confident and taking the same shots that I've been taking all year and making them at this point.
Carmelo, you guys are going to play, starting with the Clippers, you play 11 straight to close out the season until the very end against teams with winning records. They're all good teams now. Does that change your approach, your mindset at all when you're not going to get kind of breaks from the schedule?
No. We control what we can control, regardless of who we play. At this point, we control our own destiny. So everybody is fighting, for a spot. So we're going to get guys and teams' best punch, and we just got to be prepared for that, especially coming down the stretch, coming down the end of the season. Every game is going to be playoff atmosphere, playoff games, and so we got to start preparing for ourselves for that.
Is that a good test for a team? You guys haven't played together before, so just to kind of get into that sort of mode where you need to win, you're playing against good teams every night.
Yeah, this is why we wanted to join forces and come together, for these type of moments and to gear up for the postseason. And for us as a group, we feel like that's where we're headed. We playing good basketball right now. We want to continue that. And, everybody has a different take on the end of the season. Some teams rest, some teams don't. Some teams want to carry that momentum into the postseason. For us, we want to just win games, and we see where that put us at the end of the season.
Do you even look at standings at all?
I did, but it started getting too confusing. And, 2 less games in the loss column and the win. I stopped looking at it a long time ago. So wherever we at, at the end of the season, that's what we're going to be at.
This mini hot streak that you're on right now, shooting threes, it kind of perfectly lines up with you after you taking that rest day. Is that a coincidence, or did that actually help?
It's something that we strategically set in place. It's something that we looked at the schedule, and I wanted to play the Portland game, and I didn't want to miss. I know how important that game was, but at the end of the day, me being healthy, coming down the stretch and into the postseason, and finding where I can, utilize rest days and recovery days, and so I knew personally that that one day, that one game, I look at it as 3 days, 4 days for me rest, not just that one game, and was a big key in why I feel the way I feel right now.
on a very different and more important topic. You've been super vocal about gun violence and all that really for a long time. And I'm just wondering what your reaction was to the school walkouts yesterday and how everything went yesterday.
I'm in support of that. I think if it's one message, it's not a bunch of messages. Everybody is in sync, all the kids. And it's different than me sitting in front of the camera and talking about what should be different and the laws should be changed than it is when kids start talking about it, because that means kids are they are cognizant of what's going on. They woke. They understand the significance of what's going on in schools and in their communities and our communities as a whole. So any way that I can support that, I'm on board. I know it's a big march coming up, big kids march in DC coming up soon, and we're working on, me and my foundation is working on some things to be a part of that as we speak. And so we just, it's not really about the marches. It's more about just being heard and having a voice, and wanting people to understand that, it is a time for change. Small, large, it is a time for change.
Anybody else? Thanks, Mel.
Thanks.